Hello, everyone, and welcome to Shifting Tones, the podcast with nerdy tones and shifting formats. My name is Lorissa, and I will be your host today. And today, we'll be also speaking with my co-host, Sam.
Hello, everyone.
And Steph.
Hi!
So, before we really get to the nit and gritty of this podcast topic, I'd like to know what's been going on in your lives.
Nothing.
Sam, what have you been up to?
Well, I just got back from seeing the new Blue Beetle movie in theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was fun. It was exciting. It was emotional. It was DC's best superhero movie yet. Well, aside from some of the Batman movies. It's the new DC universe, so I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
All right. Can you give us a quick rating from a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being the best?
Based on as a DC movie, 8.5 out of 10. As an overall superhero movie, probably an 8 out of 10.
Sounds solid. And Steph, what have you been up to?
Oh, just streaming on my Twitch account, and then I have also been doing wedding invitations.
Ooh.
For whose wedding?
Yeah, so for mine.
What?
It's a lot of work. Yep, it's a lot of work. So I go to work, and then I stream, and then I just work on wedding stuff and find time to film podcast with you lovely people.
What a sacrifice.
What about you, Lorissa? Okay.
What have I been up to? So,
Yes.
as you may have known from our last podcast, if you've been paying attention, Sam and I go and see movies on Tuesdays because there's a discount at our local movie theater. So I, too, also saw Blue Beetle, and my word, let me tell you.
What? You were there too?
I know, I was there right next to you. Didn't you see me?
No, I tried not to.
Dang, that's crazy.
Okay, fair enough. I know. And I, too, thought it was great, and I'm also usually pretty critical of movies, so I was pleasantly surprised that I enjoyed this movie since it was a DC movie, and I was right with the director, James Gunn. It really did feel like a Marvel movie, which really I feel like helped change the direction that DC's trying to go into. If you like anti-fascist stuff, I think you're gonna like the movie, so give it a check.
What was your rating? We heard Sam's. What was your rating?
Yeah, give us the juicy gossip.
Right. Well, from a purely enjoyment standpoint, I would give it an 8 out of 10, but if I'm putting on my critical goggles, probably a 6. So, it's a good movie.
Wow, boo.
Okay, fine.
That just sounds vaguely critical in my opinion.
Vaguely critical.
That's crazy. I can't believe you said that.
A little Easter egg for all those listeners out there.
Nobody's gonna get that.
I'll get that, and that's what matters. And if a couple of my buddies are out there listening, they'll get it.
Okay. You keep telling yourself that.
All right, guys, are we ready to get into the main topic then?
Yes.
Great. So today's format, we're going to shift it from our last two we've had with open discussions and our top threes. Today, instead, we're going to do something a little bit more interactive, and we're going to do a tier list.
Ooh.
Oh, everybody loves a good tier list.
I know, and I'm excited to do it. And can I get a drum roll for our topic for our tier list?
Drum.
All right. Thank you, guys. Today we're going to be talking about Nintendo home console systems. So we're going to be ranking them.
Ooh.
We're going to be figuring out which one's the best.
That's exciting. I love a good Nintendo console.
I know.
A lot of nostalgia.
Right. And to be clear, just so everyone knows, no handheld consoles. So if your favorite system's not on the list, that's probably why.
Fair enough. Can't argue with that.
I'm excited to see what you have.
Yeah. Before we really get into the tier list and ranking it amongst ourselves, I really just want to give a brief synopsis of each home console. Then we can go from there, just so everyone can be on the same page and everyone has the same information.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you going to give us a synopsis of each one and then we're going to tier them? Or like you're going to start like, hey, here's the first console we're going to go with, here's a little thing about it, and then we'll place that in a tier?
Oh, I didn't think about that, but I do think I'd like to give everyone all the information all at once because, like, if you want to move it, perhaps, because then you heard some more information, make it a little clunky, but what do you guys think is best?
I don't care.
I mean, you're the host, you know.
That's true, it's true.
You have all the powers right now.
You do.
Okay.
I think it would be better to go at them one at a time, because then we put them into place, and at the very end, if you feel like we want to move them around, we can. But I don't want to tell the host what to do. I'm just here to get my points and hopefully win this episode.
If you think you're winning.
Steph, should I award him points?
No. I mean, you should give them to me, if anything.
Oh. Okay. 100 points to Steph's.
Yes!
So Steph's winning.
Yes!
Oh my god.
10 points to Gryffindor.
All right. So our first console that I have some information for you will be our great Nintendo Entertainment System. The OG one that started it all in terms of home consoles. We're forgetting about the other ones. Don't worry about them. And so some brief information. The Nintendo Entertainment System was released in North America in 1985. Some notable games include Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, Metroid, and The Legend of Zelda.
Ooh.
Classics.
Yeah, no, very, very much. The ones that started it all and the ones we loved and continue to play today. So some brief information, because I did not know this much about this system before I did my research, and I think it'd be fun for you guys to know. So the NES saved the gaming industry, fun fact.
Oh. From
the great video game crash caused by an oversaturation of bad Atari games. So anyone heard of a little game called E.T.?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, classic. Worst game in history.
Yeah, I think there's still some floating around in some garbage pit somewhere, so. Because of that, Nintendo really tried to make it not look like a gaming console in order to appease it to more markets, because everyone was worried that, like, any game on a new console was going to be, like, garbage, and they didn't want to invest their money on it. So they designed it to look like a VCR machine.
Oh.
I did not know that. Makes sense now if we're looking at it. You're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
That's why it's ugly.
Right. It also included our friendly little robot Rob, so that it could be included in a holiday bundle, so it can be included in the toy aisle and not the electronics section.
That's fascinating.
Interesting.
Right, isn't it? That was all my fun facts for the NES. Just wanted to keep it short and sweet for you guys. So where are we going to rank that?
What are our tiers?
So our tiers are going to be the classic tiers that almost everyone knows. We use them because it's good. So there's going to be S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and F tier. F, of course, being the worst, and S being the best.
Got it.
Perfect.
Let the fight begin.
Well, I guess I can... Oh, okay. I can let Steph speak. Yeah, that's fine. No, Steph, yeah, have at it.
Fair enough.
Wow. Yeah, I got 100 points. I think I deserve to go first. It's a console I never really grew up playing. I didn't play it much. I have seen it at other people's houses when I was young, and it was just, someone had it in their basement. We kind of jumped on and played some Mario, and then eventually I learned that kind of after my stepdad moved in, he had one, and so I played a little bit of Mario after the fact when I got a tiny bit older. But honestly, I think really I only ever played Mario on it. So to me, it's just a solid C.
All right.
Just because I don't have much experience with it.
Sam, are you going to defend the NES for us here?
A little bit, a little bit. I don't feel like I need to defend it too much, although it is like the OG and it did save the gaming industry. Similar to Steph, I never owned one personally. I had family and friends that owned them growing up, and I would play some games on it. But at that time, I had already had either the PlayStation 1 or the N64, and so I'd be like, oh, look at this retro console with these retro games. Like, I played Mario, and I think it was like the Uncanny X-Men and a couple other classic NES games on it, but it wasn't like, it didn't hold the nostalgia for me. I realize it's a great console, so that's why I'm leaning more towards B overall.
Oh. Just one step up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's, I think it holds up as far as what it was going for with a lot of the 2D classic games back then, but I believe better consoles have come after that, and if this is a Nintendo console tier list, I'm rating it as a Nintendo console and not as a video game console.
Interesting. And so before I say my opinion, I think I just want to state that just because the S tier feels like it's the cream of the crop, do we want to save the S tier for one console to make it interesting?
Yeah, we could do that. We can have like one golden boy.
Ooh.
I mean, I think we should let our heart speak, but most likely we'll probably only have one.
Okay.
Okay. That's what I would like to do because I just would like, some more competition for our consoles here.
Ooh.
I know. What I think? Well, I think you're all wrong.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Shots fired.
It's getting spicy. So what do you think, Lorissa?
I'm the host, and my opinion matters most. It's ranking, with Eugene.
Hey, Steph, are we gonna... I think we should take points away from Larissa. Do we have those powers?
No. This is my podcast today. This is not a democracy.
Oh.
All right, fine. You get a free pass.
Let's hear it, Larissa. Why do you think it's the best? Or whatever.
Well, I don't think it's the best. It's not quite S tier for me, but I mean, it could be because, guys, if we didn't have this system, we wouldn't have any video games at all. No more modern games. There'd be nothing. So I think we have to consider that. Just because of that and because it introduced so many great franchises, I'm going to give it an A.
Okay, we have an A, a B, and a C.
So we're kind of all spread out.
It's a huge cultural point,
So on the overall master tier list, where are we putting this bad boy?
Huh.
We're putting it at A because my opinion matters most.
Whoa. No. Well, what's the point of our why do we have opinions then?
I'll take them into consideration,
I was going to say I'm willing to go in the middle. I'll move it up from C to B. Larissa convinced me that it's made an impact.
Absolutely.
Maybe not in my life, but it has made an impact in games. And yeah, it did have first Mario game, so I'm sure, right? It was the first Mario game on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically.
Okay.
Yeah, because the only one on the arcades would have been the Donkey Kong one.
That's right.
Yeah, and that was Jumpman, not Mario. His name was Jumpman.
Okay, so fair. I'd be willing to move it up to B.
Okay. You convinced me. We can move it back down. We'll save some space for some other systems.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like to set some ground rules real quick. I mean, I know this. You're the hosty.
Oh, it's your tier ranking?
No. I'm just saying to help guide us and guide the audience. I'm thinking that if we do all disagree on something, we should, use the median, whatever that is. So like if one of us is an F and one of us is an A and one of us is a D, then we meet somewhere in the middle, like C or B or something.
Oh, an average.
Got it.
I think that's fair. All right. Do we want to go on to our next console since we labeled NES squarely in the B ranking?
Yes.
All right. So our next system coming up, just to continue in the timeline, is the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I know, very creative. So it was released in North America in 1991. Some notable games include Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, and Super Mario Kart, our first Mario Kart game. Some fun facts. The addition of 2 additional front buttons and 2 back buttons on the controller really expanded the video game, so that was a huge impact in the industry. And before then, it was very limited in how you can move your character. Another fun fact is that it perfected the 2D graphics gaming before 3D games really started to come on the scene. So those games were beautiful on a CRT, not like your standard flat screen today, but where it was designed to be on, it was crisp. So that's my fun facts for our little guy here for the Super Nintendo.
It's wild to think with the Super Nintendo that at this point, it's... When did it come out? 1990?
1991.
91?
For North America.
That at that point they were already on Final Fantasy VI when it came out.
Wild, I know.
It's like, okay, this seems like a very old video game system, yet there's a 6th game in a franchise already on it.
Yeah, I don't know how they were able to crank those out that fast between 85 and 91. If you think about it, that's really not that many years. We're waiting on another Elder Scrolls for how many years now?
Fair enough. All right, I'm going to go first, Steph.
I've never played SNES.
Steph, I'm going first, okay?
Okay.
No.
I need these points. My life and my family depend on these points.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and throw this squarely at A.
Whoa.
I think it's a slightly better console. And I'm not just going through history B, then A, then S, then double S and all that stuff. I think this is an S tier or A tier console. Games like Earthbound and Super Mario and Chrono Trigger, these are all classic games that I did play a lot growing up at family members' house. Again, didn't own the console, but I did enjoy them, and you can play a lot of these games on the Switch today, and these games just help define a lot of future games, not just for Nintendo, but for the gaming community as a whole. And the change in the controller really, helped from the NES to the SNES. And I think it's just a better console overall. I think it's solid A.
All right, that's a fair defense. Steph, what are you going to say?
Well, before I was so rudely interrupted.
So rude.
I'm just
Absolutely.
kidding. I don't recall ever playing this console.
Aww.
I remember NES, but I don't recall ever picking up or playing an SNES at anyone's house. That being said, I probably would just keep it at a C tier for me. I would have kept both, but...
Wow, rude.
I know. It's just, I don't have a lot of experience with it, so that's the only thing. But I do understand what Sam was saying, that there are a lot of important series that kind of, went through with it. Also, I'm really surprised that the first Mario Kart was on this version.
I know.
For some reason, I thought it was the 64 was the first.
No.
Silly fool.
Oh. So, I mean, that's just kind of like what you said, a lot of like important games for it, but just based off like me and my experience with it, I'm going to keep it middle ground C.
That's interesting. So we got A tier and a C tier. I mean, do we really want to make our B ranking so crowded?
Well, this is, you have your own rating. You put, what do you think it is?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, honestly, I personally have played the SNES because my parents, I found when I was going to college and I got back into video games where I was like going through the basement, picking up all the old consoles. I had no idea that when my parents first got together, they bought their own Super Nintendo to play games together as a couple. Super cute.
Aww.
I know. And I like looked through all of them and they had some pretty decent games. And they even had A Link to the Past. I know.
Oh, wow.
I know. And so when I put the cartridge in, like, I don't know how this technology has made this survive, but my mom's original save files were still on there.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's actually really cool.
I know. And so I was just like, wow. I had no idea my mom was like a gamer because I knew she played like, your standard mom games like Bejeweled and Tetris.
She's OG gamer girl.
Absolutely. And no, she played A Link to the Past. And I asked my mom, I was like, what the heck? I had no idea. And she's like, oh yeah, I used to play it all the time for hours. I was like, I had no idea, Mom.
Oh, wow.
So just because of that, I do have a little bit of fond memories, but more in my adult time frame. Just an appreciation for my nerdy side for my mother. And I don't know.
Where you throwing it?
I don't know. It's such a big cultural moment for gaming, but it didn't do anything as important, I feel like, as saving the video game industry. Like, come on, guys. I feel like the Nintendo Entertainment System should be up higher. But I do like the suggestion of making averages, so we're going to put it in the B tier for now.
This one also gets a B tier. Okay.
Ooh.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Are we ready for our next console?
All right, what do you got next for us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This console, some of you guys may have some more practice with, is the Nintendo 64.
Let's go.
Which was released, in North America in 1996, the year I was born. I know. Applauso.
You're old.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I think some of us are a little older than that, but a lady doesn't tell secrets. Some notable games for the Nintendo 64 are The Legend of Zelda, The Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. They both were on the same system. Super Mario 64, Super Smash Brothers for the first time, and GoldenEye 007. And some fun facts is the invention of a native 4-controller port birthed some of the best local multi-party games to exist ever for any sort of video game franchise. And the invention of the analog stick also made 3D games truly feel natural. So this is really where 3D gaming graphics are being tested and explored. All right, and I think Steph's still winning. I didn't award you any points for last time, Sam, so go ahead, Steph.
That's BS. This is rigged.
Okay, I believe that I never owned a 64, but my step cousins did. And when I was younger, we would play so much Super Mario 64 as well as Mario Party.
Yes.
Mario Party, I think that was the first time it started, also was on that system.
I don't know.
And I remember so clearly because that analog stick would rub off the inner part of your hands with some of those mini games. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, true.
Some of those mini games, you had to spin it so fast that skin would start to come off.
Right. Sounds like some physical trauma.
Yeah, but it was good. That competition. I think it was great. I think it was such a good game for collaborative play.
Absolutely.
You know, with multiple controllers. Because I think you could connect up to 4, right? With that one?
Right, that's what I said. And that was like the first system to natively do that. I believe in the past you can add an attachment.
Yeah.
Yeah, the N64 was the first Mario Party game, by the way.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Steph, for bringing that up.
Yeah. So to me, it's got to be A.
Okay.
I have more experience with it than the other 2 that we previously mentioned. It's just got good memories, fun memories, and yeah, I'd say A.
All right, good points. Now, Sam, I want to listen to yours.
This is easy. This is easiest choice I've ever had to make. This is S tier. This is
Wow.
Nintendo's best console by far. The N64 not only is groundbreaking with its 3D graphics, but it is a big old square box of nostalgia. N64, I would wake up Saturday mornings earlier than I had to get up or wanted to get up, run upstairs to my bedroom and play N64 like for hours before I had to go do anything else. Donkey Kong, Mario 64, Smash Bros, Majora's Mask, you name it, I played it and I loved it. And whenever I'd go to Blockbuster, I would always pick up a new N64 game and play that as long as I could until I had to return it. And just being able to have a friend over or with my brothers, being able to play like multiple characters in a game for the first time was fantastic. And I think it was the first console like that I had in my room growing up. Like my brother had a PS1 and I don't remember which one came out first or which one we had first, but I definitely remember playing the N64. I mean, all the way up until the Wii came out, essentially. So,
Wow.
yeah, I played the heck out of the N64. Also, we had a green see-through one and the green see-through controller.
Oh.
So we were even cooler. Yeah.
Peak 90s.
So S tier.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think I might have to take some points away from you, Sam. I mean, our first S.
Wow.
What do you mean take points away? This is an opinion.
-1. I mean, did you even like think to like
-1. You gave Steph 100 points for just being Steph.
Yeah.
I mean, Steph's cool. What can I say?
Maybe get good.
Skill issue.
Yeah, you do. The only reason I say that is because you didn't even consider asking me for an ESCA tier ranking yet. I mean, come on.
What do you mean? No, I'm not going to ask for your permission. You asked me to give a rating, and I gave it an S tier rating. If you don't think this S tier, you're gonna have to cripple it.
I mean, I don't know. We'll think about it. But
What are you rating it?
yeah, I'm gonna have hot take here because I know a lot of people that are like our age and a little bit older have so much nostalgia for this system because it's everyone's like first console. But I didn't grow up with it. I didn't at all. I played it a few times, and honestly, like because I don't have my nostalgia goggles on, it's CG, guys.
Blasphemy.
Wow.
I know.
Minus 10,000 points to Lorissa.
I don't know. I mean, really think about it because, like, sure, it really was, like, expanding in 3D graphics, but it wasn't the first system to do that. Sega was already doing that. I believe PlayStation was starting to be on the market at this point, and they were definitely doing better.
Yeah, but nobody owned a Sega CD at the time. I mean, the PlayStation, yeah, was coming out with it, but, like, being able to play a party game versus, like, an FPS was just so much better in the 90s. Like, it was still more family-focused consoles at that time.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I mean, what I think, like, the Super Nintendo has over, like, the Nintendo 64 is that, like, they perfected those 2D graphics, so, like, you can go back and play those games today, and you're like, yeah, this holds up. Are you honestly gonna sit there and say, Super Mario 64 holds up today?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, I have it on the Switch. I bought the Mario...
It's so ugly, guys! So ugly!
I bought the Super Mario Limited Edition bundle, and I played Mario 64, and I couldn't
So ugly.
take myself away from it. The only reason I stopped playing was because Elden Ring came out, and it's still just as good of a game today as it was back then.
I don't know, guys. I think your nostalgia goggles are on.
Larissa's making all the speedrunners mad.
I know!
For the Super Mario 64.
It's a hot take.
They're gonna speed run to your house and strike you. But no, seriously, if we're doing this as a tier list, Larissa, you're saying C, I'm saying S, Steph saying
I say A.
A. I think then we have to meet at A.
Guys, eyes. Like, really?
her just
It's really not that good.
That's crazy.
It's an A tier console.
I mean,
Girly pop.
If you want to use some sort of like power of authority because you're the host, be my guest. However, you're going to make a lot of people mad putting this at C.
I know, but look.
I'm A all the way.
I'm S.
I want to be just a little different. I'll rank it up at...
I'm not putting in the B category. We can't put every Nintendo console in the B category.
No, I know, but that's what I was going to say. Compromise.
Okay, no, but listen, compared to the NES and SNES, right? We have those three.
Right.
And now, well, we have those two officially in B. Do you feel that the Nintendo 64 is better or worse than them?
I think it's worse because the next console coming up does 3D graphics much better and has just as good, if not better, games in its catalog.
Okay, where are we putting this?
If we could put it in
I say A.
A tier.
B tier, that'd be great. If we can move up NES to A, how do you feel about that?
Wait, so you're saying you want to put the N64 at B?
Yes.
You want to put the NES at A?
Right.
No, I can't do it. I can't do that.
I don't think I can do
No.
that, Larissa. I'm sorry. I know you're the
we're
host, but I
revolting.
don't know if I can do that. I can't allow it.
Fine. I guess democracy wins and we can put it at A.
An A. Yes.
Look at the chat. The chat says N64 equals A. Thanks, chat.
All right. I'm still taking a point away from you, Sam, though.
Son of a...
All right. Are we ready for our next console?
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Yes.
All right. This one deserves a drum roll. I know we already did one, but this was my favorite.
Drum.
The Nintendo GameCube. Womp, 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 womp. The GameCube was released in North America in 2001. Some notable games include Super Mario Sunshine, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Animal Crossing. Some fun facts about our system here. It introduced the first ever wireless controller with the Nintendo Wavebird. Fun fact, it wasn't PlayStation, it wasn't Microsoft, it was our dear Nintendo who did that. And this controller, by the way, is still the controller of choice for competitive Smash Brothers players. Like, they don't use anything else. They use the GameCube controller. Our last fun fact is, much like SNES polished 2D gaming to make it perfection, the GameCube did the same thing with 3D graphics, making the games look even better than they were on the Nintendo 64. So just to switch it up, I have a coin here in my head, and I've already flipped it.
What does this coin have to do with anything?
Heads or tails?
Tails.
Heads.
All right, it was heads. So,
Oh.
Steph, you go first.
Yes.
Oh, what? Okay, so much for
Yes.
switching it up.
Yes. Okay.
I'm going to shift this tone so far.
This is the easiest S tier of my life. Come on.
Okay.
Dude,
Defend it.
defend it. Listen.
Yeah.
This is the first console of Nintendo that I personally bought. I bought this when I was younger. I saved up all my change and I bought a bundle pack with the 4 controllers, Mario Kart Double Dash for $99 with this system. And it just holds up. Like, to this day, every single game works still. My controllers all work. It's just so fun. The games, you can just constantly play them. I mean, I even stream the GameCube on Twitch. Like, it literally holds up to that where I can have a stream of it. Like, the games are so fun that I don't get bored of them. It just is so good.
So what it sounds like you're saying is that the graphics hold up better than the Nintendo 64.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, listen, yeah, the graphics are definitely improved, don't get me wrong, but the games, correct me if I'm wrong, but are there more GameCube games out there than the Nintendo 64?
No.
No? Okay.
But there might be more playable games because I know the cartridges, it was like not the most ideal way to have a game at that time because I think the metal corrodes on it, so a lot of them aren't playable anymore.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. But yeah, I think, honestly, the GameCube is just so good. It just had everything done correctly. And like you said, you know, it's still used to this day in competitive play. That's how well designed it is. They even had a compartment where, fun fact, you could have an attachment to have Game Boy Advance games hook up to the GameCube and you could play those.
I know.
Dude, come on. S tier. Easy. Easiest S tier.
I mean, it sounds pretty good to me, Sam. How would you like to rank this console?
So if we're going off pure self-indulgence and self-nostalgia, I would actually put this at a D tier. However,
D!
hold
Oh
on,
my god!
hold on,
You guys
hold
yelled
on,
at
hold
me
on,
for
hold on, hold on,
saying
hold on.
N64 was C.
Hold your horses.
Wow.
Hold your horses. I said if. The word was if.
Wow.
Dude, give me a
I
heart
didn't grow up with
attack.
I didn't grow up with a GameCube. I only had one single friend who had a GameCube, and he had like 3 games for it, and they weren't good games. So all I knew of the GameCube was that it made bad games,
Okay.
No.
and that's all I knew of it. That's all I knew of it at the time growing up.
But no, that's fair.
However,
That's not fair, Steph. Okay, I gotta take some points away.
No, but from his
let me finish.
from his POV.
I ended up playing GameCube as I got older, into high school and into college. And the older I got and the more I played it, the more I learned to appreciate it. I think Super Smash Bros. Melee is the best Super Smash Bros. Out there. Super Mario Sunshine is a fun Super Mario game. And Metroid Prime is a classic. Double Dash might be the best Mario Kart game as well, and I think it holds up, like you said. There's so much that it still does today for gamers that it was doing back in 2001, so I think that as a console, I think it's pretty solid. The fact, like you said, that it can play Game Boy Advance games on it and Game Boy Color games like through, a port, which was pretty cool. And I don't know if it could actually be used as a like a DVD or CD player or anything at the time, but being Nintendo's first disc console, I think that's pretty cool. And like you said, the controller is probably one of the best designed controllers of all time. So with that, I feel comfortable putting this at a B tier from my D.
Wow. Only B?
I don't think it's the best Nintendo console.
Wow. We don't have that many more consoles left.
I do think it's better than the NES by far, but the nostalgia factor is holding me back a lot because it did help the N64 a lot. So,
wow.
what's your opinion, Larissa? I think I know, but what's your opinion?
Well, it was also my first gaming console. Well, technically I had a PlayStation, but that was a hand-me-down. I wasn't like I bought it or anything, or like a Christmas gift. The GameCube, mine came bundled with Mario Party 7. And Lord, let me tell you, that Mario Party in particular, brutal. Oh my god. To this day, I still can't beat the computers that often, and it infuriates me. I don't know if you played Mario Party 7, Steph, but...
Oh, yeah. I have it. Yep.
Those computers. Like, you put them on easy, and you still couldn't beat them.
Oh, yeah.
Rude. And so that's where I have my most fondest memories, and it was actually the gaming system that brought me back to video games, because for a long time, I just didn't touch them, and I don't know, there's just something nice about the catalog. All the games look beautiful, even on the flat screen TV. Like, yes, it ideally looks better in a CRT, but those graphics, chef's kiss, Paper Mario, that style, gorgeous.
Paper Mario.
I know.
You need to relax.
No.
I know, 1,000 Year Door. Oh, it's the best one of the series. Like, if anyone can tell you that, it's Paper Mario 1,000 Years Door. It's just so good.
So what are you ranking it?
I want to rank it S tier because, guys, everyone thinks that, like, Sony or Xbox created the wireless controller. No. It was Nintendo. Let's give them their credit that they really, really stepped up. And although this wasn't a very much selling console in the time, I think it was very underrated and really made Nintendo step up to the modern gaming at the time. Like, they really had some interesting games. Like, I think one of the most interesting one was called Eternal Darkness, where it would literally like mess around and make you think that like it was turning your TV on and off and changing the volumes. And that was an exclusive for Nintendo. I'd never heard of that for any like PlayStation or Xbox game.
Yeah, the closest thing would probably be the game Fear that came out for the original Xbox many years later, where it would like mess with your HUD and stuff, but it wouldn't actually mess with your TV like Eternal Darkness did.
Yeah. Pretty cool. So creative, because this is my podcast and there can only be one S ranking unless someone gives a pretty good case for the next ones. We're gonna put it an S. GameCube gets an S tier.
Yes. Well, listen, 2 people said S tier for this one, so I mean, I feel like it kind of has to be.
Yeah, I had to fight tooth and nail for N64 to be A.
Uh-huh.
The chat pretty much made it A.
This has got to be a compromise because I wanted to put N64 at C.
No.
Like,
It definitely did not deserve C. Is that our final? Or are we putting it at S?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we're putting it at S. I don't care what Sam says.
Let's go.
Feels a little anticlimactic, but unless Sam can make a really good argument for our next consoles, we'll leave that in the air.
I'll fight for one.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
All right. The next console to be released by Nintendo was the Wii, which was released in North America in 2006.
Wii
Some
would
notable
like to
games.
play.
Yes, Wii. Some notable games include Wii Sports, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, Super Mario Galaxy, and Okami. And fun fact, the Wii introduced motion sensor controller to the world for the first time, and it spawned a huge cultural movement where everyone from kids to grandma played it, and grandmas are still playing this game in their retirement homes to this day. I guarantee you someone just got a strike on Wii Sports right now. All right, I'm gonna do another coin toss. So Steph, this time, heads or tails?
Heads.
It was tails, I'm sorry. Sam, go ahead.
Oh, wow. I just got lucky enough to go first. Yeah, I had a Wii. It was one of the first consoles I bought myself with my money that I saved up. And I had Wii Sports. I had a James Bond game and a lightsaber game. And it was cool to have the motion controls. Even had a Guitar Hero game. However, the more I think about the Wii, the more I don't like it, actually. Yeah, I had a lot of nostalgia for it because it was a fun console and it was my console and stuff. And I did play it quite often. But overall, the Wii to me is a C tier. At best. I mean, I'm saying low C. I pushed myself from D tier to C tier. I think it's okay. I think there's a lot of nostalgia to it, and it's a lot of fun. Big family console that everybody can play, Switch Sports, Wii Sports, Wii Bowling, is really fun. But overall, the console's just a C tier. That's why you see them at the Exchange and other Goodwills and stuff for $10 because people just don't want them anymore.
That may be a little bit of a controversial take, but Steph, are you going to be able to defend this system, or are you going to agree?
I was about to say that's 100% C tier for me, baby.
Let's go. Let's go.
I don't think I ever bought a Wii. I think I was gifted a Wii for Christmas at one point in time, or it was either gifted to my sister.
Was it in a grocery bag?
No, I think it was really cool for the motion part of it, but I did often just not want to go play it. I was well, I kind of want to go play my GameCube now. I just would always revert because it was very similar to, both the GameCube and the Wii kind of came out around the same-ish time. There's only a difference of 5 years there. So for me, I was well, I'm just going to go back to playing GameCube. But I think the Wii did have, a lot of fun games like Just Dance. I think that was pretty big.
Yes.
And so the motion control with that was fun. And I think Just Dance, Wii Sports, always a good time. But I just don't like the controller all that much. It's very hard to play on to me if you're not using the motion stuff with it.
No, you're absolutely right.
If you're just using the controller as a regular controller, it kind of just sucks.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And not to mention the potential dangers of people not using the protective wrist strap.
Impaling the TV.
But I would say C tier. I agree with Sam, low C.
Interesting. And back to your comment about the wrist strap, I remember it's burned in my memory. The news articles that would come out being local person throws their controller into the TV and breaks it.
Yup.
I think they had to add the wrist strap because they released it without it at first, if I remember correctly. And Nintendo's oh shit, we made a mistake.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah, just to give the Wii a little bit of more support. Let's be real, the soundtrack for anything on the Wii, baby, that's just chef's kiss. I can put that on in the background and just listen to it. The opening home screen channel.
Yeah.
Amazing. The Mii Plaza, so good. Let's just recognize that for what it is.
That's fair.
That can't do that much heavy lifting, though.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I think, I don't know, the more I play, the current Mario Kart game, I feel the Mario Kart for the Wii is, the best version of it. Because with the motions, it's almost, a little bit more of an intuitive, experience with, driving your kart. But you can still use the, D-pad and stuff to make it a little bit more technical if you want to. I don't know. I thought that was, one of the best integrations for the motion sensor for, a more hardcore kind of a game that's not just a little party game.
Yeah, I get that. So where are you putting this at, Lorissa?
I do like to just be like controversial for the sake of being controversial.
No, put it where you want to put it.
I know, but I'm going to agree with you guys and I'm going to put it at C.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are finally all in agreement.
We are.
We
would like to play, maybe not.
Take points away from her.
No, it's
no.
so good. All right, so our next system is the Wii U, which was released in North America in 2012. Some notable games are Splatoon, Yoshi's Woolly World, Super Mario Maker, and Bayonetta. This is our first Nintendo console to give the gamers an HD experience, which, you know, it's kind of a little shocking in 2012, but we won't ignore that, Nintendo. We forgive you. And the gamepad gave a dual screen experience for like the first time for like a home console. So those are my fun facts for the Wii U. Let's hear it from you, Sam. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go first. This is Nintendo's F console. And I'm not just saying that because I think that's how like the majority of people feel. I've played it. My good buddy has one. Like, there was a Smash game on it, and even that wasn't great. Like, I'd much rather play Brawl or Melee at that point. And when it came out, I was one of those people in the majority that was like, oh, a different Wii or an accessory for the Wii or something. I didn't know it was a new console. And then when it did come out and they were like, hey, here's this gamepad you can have, I'm like, oh, portable Wii. That's really cool. Like, better than the Game Boy or anything like that. Nope. You couldn't take that outside of the living room, essentially. You had to keep it, like, right near it. Like, yeah, you could watch a movie and play on it at the same time, but it fell flat. It was a dud. It's an F-tier console.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would say F tier. My fiance bought it. I think he only ever played a few games on it.
Oh, no.
I think I only touched it once or twice.
No.
It just wasn't, like, fun. And, like, I do understand that it was trying to be a little bit different, but I thought the handheld portion of it was super odd. It felt almost like you had to have one person sit aside to do a different, like, task for games. Does that make sense? Like,
absolutely.
Like, it almost felt like that they...
Yeah, no, yeah. That's how Zombie U was, yeah.
Yeah, it almost felt like it was just weird that you had to separate someone from the whole general experience of a game. Like, I know they're playing at the same time, but it was still kind of odd. But I would say F.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try and, like, argue. It's definitely F. And the only game I actually believe played on the Wii U was the Super Smash Brothers, and that was actually a really cool experience, having, like, for the first time, I believe more than 4 players being able to play that style. So that was a lot of fun.
I think it was still 4.
No, you could play up to like 12, I believe. Because I would play it all the time in college.
On the Wii U?
Yeah.
Someone frantically Googling.
Oh, I am. Okay, you're right. You can play up to 8 people. I apologize.
It's pretty wild, and it's a lot of fun because the chaos it's insane. But as much as I love a good Smash, it's not saving it. The game controller pad, it hurt my wrists and my thumbs. Like, just by holding it. I could not try and imagine to play like an actual video game for an extended period of time. Like, no.
That's fair.
And, like, when you look at the Wii U, like, Smash Bros. Characters that came out, like, that were introduced on it, like, yeah, you got a lot more of the, like, Fire Emblem characters and some just, like, new characters overall. You got the Duck Hunt. The only good one that came out of it was probably Rosalina and Little Mac. I don't care about Cloud. I don't care about Bayonetta or Pac-Man. I don't know. They did release a ton of new characters, but to me, it's the bottom of the Smash games as well, so.
Yeah. It's not. All right, so we're just going to quickly move past that, and we're going to go on to our last console. So let's give it up to our baddie, our current Nintendo system, the Nintendo Switch.
Let's go.
Which was released worldwide, so everyone got it at the same time, which I believe is a first for Nintendo in 2017. Some notable games include our Pandemic Darling, Animal Crossing, New Horizons, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Super Mario Odyssey. And I only really had one fun fact, and it's not really a fun fact for the Switch because, I don't know, I think Nintendo just kind of perfected it. And so this system really perfected what they tried to do with the Wii U and made an easy, seamless switch from a TV console experience to a handheld experience. So I'm going to let Steph start this ranking because I have a feeling I know what Sam's going to say. So, Steph, go ahead.
I think Nintendo learned from its mistake with the Wii U and definitely was like, okay, we had a concept, right, of having a potential console with like the handheld aspect. And then, yeah, they just perfected it. I think it is so cool that you can just have it be handheld and then put it on the TV as well. Like, that is just really cool to be able to do that. And it holds up. I mean, people still play it to this day. There's so many great games for there. I would say A tier, honestly. I think it's just a really cool. I got it. I don't remember when. Probably 2019 is when I got it. I remember now. I got it for Christmas. I waited 2 years because it was kind of expensive when it came out, but I do think it was worth getting just because you can do so much with it.
All right. Solid points. Sam, what are you going to rank it?
I also agree. I think it's also an A tier. It's bordering S tier.
Yeah.
I think it's as of right now, a perfect Nintendo console. I know that means it should be S, but it doesn't have the nostalgia yet factor, just because it's new. We got ours during the pandemic, primarily so that Lorissa could play Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah.
And Breath of the Wild. I know Tears of the Kingdom is game of the year so far, right around Baldur's Gate 3. And it's great. It's a great console. It's got a great, clear HD screen. It's fun to play. It's nice that it's completely portable, unlike the Wii U. The Smash for it is fantastic. Mario Party, Mario Kart. And being the first home console to put Pokemon Central games on it. You had Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Snap and other games on other Nintendo consoles before, but to have main staple Pokemon games on it for the first time is pretty groundbreaking. And so it's definitely high A, low S, but I'll say in the A category.
Wow, Sam, I really thought you were going to fight for S. What was your gumption before? You're just going to let the GameCube take the S slot with no fight?
Well, no. My gumption for S was N64, and N64 is my S tier console.
Oh, I see. All right. So I'm going to agree with you guys. I think it naturally feels like in a technical aspect it should be S, but I don't know. I mean, for as many good games that are on that system right now, I don't know. I don't think it's the best of all the categories for the franchise games. Yes, the Zelda game, I know it's controversial, but it might be the best one for the franchise. I know a lot of people have different opinions, but I don't know. A lot of people like the Animal Crossing for GameCube the best for your true Animal Cross people. I like New Horizons the best, but that's because I play Animal Crossing wrong. I just like it for the customization and being able to build stuff. I'm more of a Sims kind of type player for Animal Crossing, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I know that's not how that franchise is supposed to really be. It was a big, huge shift from what it was before. Yeah, it's a solid system. And for that, I think we're going to give it an A.
I think it's also a really good console for families.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Especially with younger kids, because not only can kids play it in a car, you can bring it on a plane and have kids play it, or even just people in general. But, it's really good design for not just older people, but also children. They made it very convenient to keep it at the house or take it with you on a family trip. So I think that's a really cool design for it as well.
Absolutely.
And I know this isn't the episode for it, but I will say that the PSP was the best handheld console of all time. And it did what was the Switch is doing in 2017, back in 2007.
Yeah, but nobody cares.
It was an MP3 player, had internet access, it had HD screens, it was touchscreen, it was everything.
Do they talk about it now?
They should be. It was way ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
Best handheld console.
Okay. Minus 10 points.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Sam, I think you're in the negatives now. We said specifically we're not talking about handhelds. You can't play the PSP on the TV. You just can't.
I don't wanna. I want to play it in the car.
Then grab a Switch.
All right, whatever. Yeah, exactly. And how many multiplayer games can you play in that bad boy?
It did have internet access.
That does not count.
So do we want to go over our final kind of rankings then?
Yeah, I just wanted to say one last thing about the Switch in terms of the current gaming sphere right now is that it really truly is the only console left right now where you can locally play multiplayer games. And I think that should be recognized. And maybe Sony and Xbox, maybe you should step it up a little bit.
Shots fired. You hear that, Sony? You hear that, Xbox? She's coming at you.
So yes, we're going to give our final ranking, unless someone wants to give a defense for a console deserving the S spot over the GameCube. Going once?
No.
No, I think I'm fine. It's whatever.
All right.
It's a lost fight, you know.
Wow, all right. So our final rankings are going to be from S to F. We're going to start with our F tier. Womp womp. The Wii U.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
Yeah.
That's fair.
And so we didn't rank anything at D.
Not too shabby.
Good on you, Nintendo, I guess. Our C tier is the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty solid.
That makes sense.
And tied for B is the NES and the SNES. Even though I think the NES should be at A, but whatever, guys.
It can be high B.
Yeah, there you go. B+.
B+, that's right.
Fair enough. Our A, we have also tied the Nintendo 64 and the Switch. And our top ranking S tier was the GameCube. Applauso, applauso. Thank you, guys.
Applause sound effects.
Yes. I like it. I like that list. I think that's good. I think it's like the perfect list.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and if anybody has anything to say about it, you can come fight us.
I think you're right. And since we are already way over our normal allotted time frame, but I think it was worth it for those extra 10 minutes or so just to really nail it in. We're going to wrap it up here, guys. So any last comments before we do our send-off? Sam or Steph?
This was fun. I was like, oh, like just talking about like personal connections to each console was really fun to kind of hear it from everybody and how we all experienced each console growing up and things like that.
N64 is S tier.
Okay, whatever. Whatever,
C.
bud.
All right, so listeners, if you want to leave any comments, please do. We love to hear them, and maybe we'll include it in our next podcast. Who knows? And remember, if you want to listen to us, we'll be uploading every Thursday, and you can find us at Shifting Tones Pod and Instagram, Threads, and X. I think that's what we call it now.
Twitter. It's still Twitter.
You can try finding us on some X sites. I don't think you're going to find us, though.
It's weird. Yeah, we're not that kind of a podcast. But you can also individually find us at... Steph, do you want to give out your handles?
Yeah, I am at Spiffy Steffi. All platforms.
Sounds good. Sam, do you want to give your handle?
Yeah, Sir Captain Sam on all platforms.
And you can follow me on Lorissa.Schaefer on Instagram and Threads. That's how we're going to wrap it up today. Thank you guys for listening, and bye-bye.